What do we do after a windfall day? What is a windfall day or series of days, and what does that mean for tomorrow? We are going to talk about all of that. It is a perfect opportunity to do so because it is July the 6th, and we have had two winning days back to back today. Biggest one of my trade days of the year. We're going to talk about that. Let's get into that here this evening, and a lot of people in our crew also did too. So perfect time to do it. Let's go. Alrighty. So what is a windfall day? Windfall days are days when you are going to make very big profits. Windfall meaning big. Again, this is not going to be a normal gain for you. This is going to be a bonus day, not just usually like a bonus day. So for instance, like if my standard day is I'm looking to make between 3 to 4K a day, and if I push, a 5K day, that's a bonus, right? Anything above that 4K scenario, that's a bonus. Anything above and beyond that, I'm like, awesome. I make 6K, I make 8K. Okay, but we're talking about windfall. Well, we're talking about maybe for me, when I hit 15K plus, really even at 10K, right? But the next day, I want to maybe start to think about, was this a windfall day? Today was a huge day, one of my biggest win days of the year. It was a 21K. I think it was less than that after commissions. I think it was more like around 19 something, because quite a few trades there today to get to that. But it was FOMC, so lots of trading opportunities. What's FOMC? Again, there's videos around that. Make sure you understand FOMC rules. You saw the back and forth early in the day, pure classic FOMC day inside the golden ropes, and then we had the explosive moves at 2 p.m. Eastern time on FOMC. And so this is a windfall day. What do we need to concern ourselves with a windfall day? Well, it's not so much the day that it happens. We don't know when these are going to occur, but when they do occur, again, it's sort of like when it rains, grab a bucket. Today was one of those days. The day after, though, is what we care about, okay? After a windfall day, you go out there and talk to many traders who have been around the markets for a very long time. If you have a big green day, what happens shortly thereafter? You might give all of that back and then some. It may be a big fat red day the next day, or it could look something like this. This is what you don't want to have happen. This is classic. You'll hear a lot of traders who have these stories like, man, one day I absolutely crushed it, and then the next day I just gave it all back and then some. Let's talk about why that happens. I've gone into this in other videos, so this should be a rehash of this, but the short answer is this. You've got psychologically, you feel like, man, I just rocked the mountain yesterday. You come in super overconfident. The market, by the way, during that windfall day was probably some kind of oddball activity, something out of the ordinary, something extraordinary. And what tends to happen is there is a big violent shift from one day to the next. So you get a shift and you coming in with that overconfidence, you're ready to go. You've got some cushion in your account. You're feeling pretty good about it. And then just it turns into a nightmare the following day. You might be out even celebrating the night before. All kinds of things happen that lead to this post-windfall day. So I've got rules for around the day after. So let's talk about those here real quick so that you can write these down, okay? What are our rules? Well, you need to be very, very careful, obviously, but let's be more specific. How can we specifically be careful, right? What are things that we can do? Well, one of them is don't trade at all. Now, this is optional, okay? Don't trade at all. You need to tell yourself the market, you owe the market double, okay? You tell yourself that. Okay? If you tell yourself this tends to get you in a mindset of going, oh shoot, if I trade today, I am going to have to pay back double. So if I made $20,000 today, then tomorrow the market says that I owe it $40,000. Now, I'm saying that, and that's absurd, right? But that's the whole point. Tell yourself that you owe the market double. You're going to be in double trouble the following day, because what does that do to you? Now, all of a sudden, the following day, you trade with more fear, okay? Trade with fear. The following day. Basically tell that market, I'm not giving you a dime back. Meaning that following day, you are extremely careful. All right, to the extreme. Okay, go overboard with it. Tell yourself that you are going to get wrecked if you trade on that day, and it will change the way that you play. Or just set out. You can enjoy your, wins, just, maybe take a sim day and whatnot. But this next day, you've got to tell yourself to be very, very careful. And you might want to just be going in there for some scalps. But what you don't want to do, if you are going to do the scalp thing, I have seen traders where they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go and do a few scalps because I'm just going to kind of add to my windfall, just kind of carry that forward a little bit. And what do? Ultimately, one little scalp gets away from them. They add to the position, add. It happens to be just that one. It's weird how that works, but all of a sudden this one now yoinks on you. What I will say is that at least do not give back more than a quarter. If you want to give yourself some wiggle there, okay, go like, look, I am willing to, look, this little quarter of this up here, all right, I'm willing to give this back tomorrow, okay, to add a little bit to it. But look, if you hit this marker, be done, okay? Just exit, because you will ultimately, if you don't, you'll end up giving away the whole thing. You start chasing these losses, you start doing something like that, and all of a sudden that windfall just completely disappears. You lose the momentum that you had from the windfall day. Just don't do it. These are the rules for a windfall day. If you haven't experienced it, just trust me, ask around. I'm trying to save you the anxiety of having to go through it. I have done it myself. I remember the days I would literally have back-to-back big gigantic green bar, big gigantic red bars. This has happened more than once to me, so I know it's not coincidence. And then I hear it from other traders and stories that I have listened to around the industry. This is a thing. Just know it, write it down, put it in your notes. If you have a windfall day, sit out the next day mentally, or if you're going in, trade with extreme fear or do a practice day or whatever, right? Anything. Just make sure you know that you owe the market double. Tell yourself that. Now, again, don't say, oh, Vinny says, oh, your market's going to take double. What stupid rule is that? Again, I'm not saying it is, but if you tell yourself mentally that, you will prepare yourself to not fail, and you will be extremely cautious. Wouldn't you? If you know, like, well, today if I trade today, I'm going to lose $40,000. If you tell yourself that, do you understand? Like, I'm psychologically psyching you into believing what you need to believe in order to succeed. Got it? Okay, that's the windfall stuff. So let's take a peek at how I did today and how that windfall occurred. I'm going to teach you some things about the FOMC, show you some really cool trades today. Let's get into that right now. All right, so I'm gonna bring over my Snagit editor window, and for the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and take this time to talk to you about why I like Snagit. Once again, I've talked to you guys in video number 6 in our lessons. It's important to have a good screenshotter, okay? Again, this is a pay for one. One of the things that I like about this one that I cannot get over is this down here. This is the only app that I've seen that has a history down here. If you guys know of another screenshot utility, post it down below that has a history window down here where I can click on them. Here's how easy it is, right? I can click right here, click right here. I can just click these little thumbnails down here in the tray itself and edit right away immediately. I can start drawing things. I can grab circles. I can just immediately edit on it. It's all about being able to do it quickly because, again, I've told you guys screenshots are extremely important. So I want you guys to be able to do that and do it quickly, okay? All right, so 21,848 prior to commissions. So take out commissions after that, out of that, and I forget what that is here today. I'm not going to go through the full performance review there today. My stats weren't great. I did have some drawdown there, and I don't want to focus in on that here today. Particularly, I want to talk about the windfall. We can talk about that in a separate video. All right, so in the 21,848, what did we do here? So let's take a peek at one of the things, how we started off at the 2 o'clock. There's our buddy Trades by Matt, Blowout Boy down here. We had taken a screenshot from one of our recent videos there. But yes, this is what's cool about the trade history there. That was with the paying for subscribers, where we proved out that ICT and Trades by Matt pay for subscribers on their YouTube channels. And you wonder why they grew so fast. Like, it's not because they're good traders, it's because they're paying for it. And I refuse to do that crap. But you guys tell me down below if you guys think that's okay to do, or if you think that's legit. I don't think it is. All right, so let's carry on. Let's look at this. So we've got the W. This is where we started. I posted in the room here today in the chat in Discord. I said, uh-oh, look at, I don't say uh-oh, I was like excited. I said, this is a W. I learned this. Folks, I learned this the hard way, believe it or not. Somebody didn't come out to me and tell me, oh, you know, this W pattern, this is on a high time frame scenario. No, this can happen on lower time frames, but particularly on these, when I'm always asking myself, what do I do right here? I immediately am telling myself, I do not trade against this direction on this bar right here. This may as well be a gigantic green bar going up, 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 up forever. Okay, this is the way that I tell myself this is going to play, because I can't tell you how many times I have seen the play come around like this. Like you think it's coming down, and then we do one of these, and then oh, you think, oh, it's going to come down. No, and this sucker goes like crazy. A lot of experience on these. I actually have a strat set up for this down in the left-hand side of Discord in the education section. Go down there and look at strat-w. At strat-w down below on the left-hand side on the menus in Discord, and you'll see some screenshots of these. This is another one that we got from today. Now, it does not have to have this cool Fibella dot. Our Fibella dot just happened to completely nail that bottom and comes into the bottom of a channel down there and into our double Bollinger Band power, and happens to come right below the golden bands. Lots of reasons why that's a pretty cool move right there. But now we are in a classic W. Key parts of that are this pivot is, at an angle like this between these two. You will see this. Go look at the screenshots below. This is just a visual pattern I have seen over and over again. I saw this coming in to 2 o'clock, and I was like, dude, this is going to be crazy. I know a lot of people are like, oh, FOMC, it's going to be bad, market could come down, whatever. And it was almost like, because of the multiple factors, just like that, the fact that people were also going to be thinking, oh, the market could tank and everything else probably contributed to this upward direction on this one. But I saw this on the NASDAQ and was like, we are not trading against this, or at least for me, I am not trading against this. I will be looking for longs basically the entire rest of the day, because this is an 89 range. What does that mean? 89 ticks from top to bottom for every bar. This is basically equivalent to like a daily bar scenario, big bar, and I do not want to be trading against that. So we want to be looking for longs. Let's see how we do that. This is the screenshot that I posted in the room. Was like, look for the longs. This is going to be insane. How did that turn out? Well, wow, look at that. Just like I had said, like, watch out, look at this sucker go. Now, this is not the end. Let me show you. I'm going to go all the way to the end and show you guys how far this ended up going. Look at it. Look at it. Right? Here's where we were before, and all this, remember I said, like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to fall for the drop to the short side. I am going to play the biggest plays to the long side. This is what contributed to my 21K day today. Again, had I already not known or had that bias on my play, would not have been holding out those plays for so long, would not have been able to have the confidence in getting big. And it was the speed also today. The speed from what? FOMC. Perfect storm here for us, grabbing a bag. I'm not sitting here saying, like, oh, every day I'm tracking. Why don't you do 21K every day, Vinny? Because the market, we take what the market hands out. We never can tell how much the market is going to give us. Now, can I be consistent about it? Can I say on average what it's going to, give us with our strategies and our setups? Approximately, if the market's at a certain BPM, bars per minute, sure, right? So that's why I know that I can average somewhere in the neighborhood between, 3 and 4K. It's been, a little bit lower-ish lately, just because of stuff going on in my life and how long I've been able to spend at the keyboards and whatnot with, we're trying to sell some of our rent houses and stuff like that. So it's been a little bit busy for me dealing with legal stuff and yada yada. So it's been more like 1 to 2K days, 3K here and there. But I know that if I'm at the desk 2 sessions a day, I can push that 3 to 4K a day scenario with my setups and my system. That's what I know I can target. So when I push a huge day like today, I'm not gonna say it's accidental, right? But I know that I need to be very wary when tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a very, different type of day, more than likely. Again, now as I plan for it mentally, either laying off completely, or as I come in, playing with that high level of fear. I'm not going to be giving anything back, keeping things tight, nice and tight, not going to be trying to be a hero tomorrow, so that I maintain that momentum of the windfall day. All right, I don't want to beat that dead horse. Let's carry into this. So here's where, let's go all the way back to where we started. Okay, so I talked about this. That's what we saw in the room. I said, look for the W. We carry on, high time frames. Now here's a mid time frame. Beautiful shark, blue dot inside the shark. Oh my word, it was so good. Now, a lot of people get confused by this. As I've said before, what happens with this? That dot gets powered up, right? The dot is powered up. The dot was inside it. I actually got the second move into this, and we had the lines here. It was so beautiful. All this activity right here with the blue dot. One of my biggest plays coming up and out of this play. I held all the way out until we got to that red delta, I keep calling it the delta, the alpha omega flag right there. Huge setup there, all the way to 11,890 almost. Huge play there. The divergence comes afterwards, but that was a very nice play. Sure, it would have been cool, been like, oh yeah, I got this divergence right here and crush it. No, I didn't get this whole move, but this one right here, sure enough, got me a nice big piece of that on the secondary move. It was right after the news. Where's the 2 o'clock? So 2 o'clock is over here. Okay, so boom, here comes the Eastern time 2 o'clock craziness coming in. And then right about to here, that's at the 05s, right? So I'm already looking for a play. I saw it there. I was behind it when I first got in on it. When it came back, I was like, oh, let me add to this position. As we get in here, I'm like, well, I could get stopped out, but I'm going to make this play. Let's make it work. So first play off of this section after the 2 o'clock FOMC was this play right here. And that one was ended up being a lot of fun. Lower time frame. Also kind of looked like that. Wait, is this the 9s? Hold on, 9s, and then I think this is a zoom out of that. Yeah. So then what do we see? This is when I posted to the room. Again, never trade against that W. I've said that before. Just lots of plays after that. I wasn't able to record all the screenshots as I went afterwards. I did want to point out this one here though, and looking at those divergence triangles. Do not overlook these on the high time frames. Now look, you can put these on a lower time frame if you wish, right? But on the higher time frames, really pay attention to these. Some of these can be some of the biggest pivots that we have. Now, are they all going to work? No. Let me point out, and I try to make these red. The thing I didn't like was I think I could have changed the red on my Snagit tool here, but there's, this one, if you went short right here, that's going to be a loser, right? This one's going to be a loser. Are you going to take this by itself? Not really, but if you got it in combination, absolutely. Can it give you plays on the lower time frame? If, like, for instance, this one ends up playing, I see the sucker moving straight up, we get to right about here. I'm looking over here on my lower time frame to be looking for the longs after that divergence play, pushing ourselves on up. We also had delta coming along with it as we shift. I think to the left also was showing a red one. Now we got the biggest green one on the shift, indicating we may have the continued move, and it sure enough was, and this sucker goes and goes and goes off of this one. There's a nice short, there's a nice long. This one also doesn't work. See these two right here? These two, not gonna work. This one, crushed it. This one, another big one that was a winner. This move afterwards, I wish I would have gotten did I get an after shot of that one? I don't think I did. No, but I loved looking at these. So just another example as we're coming through these to take a look at those setups. Man, look at that beast right there, all the way up. This is 89. Remember, each one of these bars is 89 ticks. If we're just kind of counting, sometimes I just round up and be like, okay, so it's about 100 ticks. So there's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 ticks or so out of this move inside of the golden ropes on up. By the moment where I was saying, like, basically here where we're looking for the longs, oh sure, you had some down moves underneath here. This is what I mean. Like, every time when you think, all right, we might be dive bombing down, I might go short on a W, I'm just telling you, I never trade to the short side. I would rather take some small losers as I'm going to the long side than to take this. Otherwise, I had lots of good trades here on the upside. I had 2 losers right in here. I actually think it was 3 losers in a row as this started to come down on me, because I was long biased this entire time. So as this straight leg came down, yes, I took about 2 or 3 losers on the low time frames. Again, minor, but they were larger because at this point I had already pushed in. I think I was already up like 6K on my first few trades as I went in on that. So it was one of those moments where I'm kind of, okay, I'm gonna push it a bit. Almost gave back all of it, right? Again, that's why I say I don't want to look it through my stats right now on it, but it can happen. But then just complete paid back through this area. Every play in here, I was trying to get to the long side. As this thing started to run, huge moves. I had double moves coming out of this section like crazy. DCDMs, my absolute favorites, pushed all the way up. Beautiful plays there for our big day here on this one. What was I showing here? These are just, I think, continuations of that. So windfall day, this was before, I actually thought I was at the end of the day. I posted this at the end there, and it was like, okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm done, but no, I wasn't done. This was still, there's about a half hour left of the day. Scrolling forward, and ultimately ended up seeing this one. Another double move comes in, plus look at this. We got a power dot green with J hook to the long side. It was insane. I was showing this off in the room. There was another member in the room was like, oh, I took that same one. You know, great play right here. Loaded up the boat. I was already well ahead of the game on the day. I was willing to risk a few $1,000s. I was already up 18K on the day, so I'm going to push it, getting in big on it. Full position size. Again, it's not max position size, but full. Remember to tell the difference for me. 16 contracts is going to be my full. No, I didn't just press the button one time. At this point, I had sized up. I'm pushing in 4 contracts at a time. As I went, you notice I put the strategy to none because the markets were moving so quickly at this time. Double cross, double move, perfect opportunity to do so. Targets up above. You see I'm only entered in. I don't have a stop. You have to be careful when you have these. You have to have your finger over the close, and you have to have your phone nearby in the event that you have a disconnection or something like that, or you have a secondary connection over on a laptop or something else that you can close out the position if your system hangs, lose internet, yada yada. I've told you guys that in videos 1. I just want to reiterate that while we're going through this, that, you know, emergency situations, if you are playing without a stop. We are not here playing without stops. We are not Bobs, okay? We're not this guy, okay? That's no stop boy over there. We do not play that. We are not Bob. We're not blowout boys around here. We don't play that way. Okay, great play. Was able to take a few screenshots as it went all the way up, and I thought, man, we're hitting target 1 almost straight away. I thought we might get to target 2, so I was being a little cocky here. Took the screenshot before I closed out the trade, but I did end up, you know, kind of being chicken and closing out the trade there shortly thereafter and closing out the day on that 21,848. So windfall day. Hopefully you got something from this here tonight. Don't forget that tomorrow I'm going to be trading cautiously. You should too. I saw a lot of the members. I'm going to do another video right after this one showcasing the other results from the room here and why, again, tomorrow, which is going to be the 7th. 7/7 tomorrow is going to be a very tricky day, or it could be. All right, that's my anticipation. We'll see if I'm right or not. Let's find out tomorrow, but be cautious and be careful. If you had that windfall day, I saw a lot of other people. We had other members in our crew had 17,000. I saw an 18,000. I think I saw somebody beat me, had a $24,000 day. Getting a lot of windfall players, so I needed to make that video here tonight. Hopefully you guys got something from it. I'll catch you guys in the morning. See ya.